Thank you very much, representatives of MUIS and Masjid Al-Istighfar, Mufti, my cabinet and parliamentary colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, selamat petang, and I'm very happy to join all of you today for Buka Puasa. I do so every year in Ramadan, but it's special this year because I'm joining you for the first time in my capacity as Prime Minister. Ramadan, of course, is a time for Muslims to share their blessings with others. And every year, the mosques across Singapore bring Muslims and non-Muslims together to share the joy and blessings of this holy month. We may have different faiths in Singapore, but here we live harmoniously together. We learn to give and take. We celebrate each other's festivals and traditions. This is something truly rare and precious which we must cherish and protect always, because it's what makes Singapore an oasis of peace and harmony, and it's what makes us stand out, especially today in a dangerous, troubled, and volatile world. Singapore is different, and we know it, and we should always cherish what we have. All our faith leaders in Singapore have worked so hard to contribute to this strong sense of mutual understanding and respect, and to reinforce the common values across our different religions. Indeed, many mosques, as we heard just now, encourage their congregants to give back to the community, especially during Ramadan, but also throughout the year. And our mosques have come a long way, as we heard from Khairul just now. And in particular, I appreciate the presentation and on what Masjid Al-Istighfar is doing with its various projects in intergenerational bonding and the Tama project, which you highlighted. All these highlight the vital role that our mosques play in Singapore. They serve the social religious needs of our Muslim community, teach good character and values, and also contribute to our wider society here in Singapore. The government itself is strictly secular in our approach, and we are even-handed in treating all faiths. We have to be, because Singapore has to be a country for all Singaporeans, regardless of their beliefs and backgrounds. But we as a government recognize the importance of faith. Faith empowers people with strength and purpose. Faith can be a positive force for society. And that's why in our development planning for different estates, we do take into account our population's religious needs, including the need for places of worship like our mosques. Currently, as you heard, there are 71 mosques in Singapore. Minister Masagos and the MUIS team have been reviewing the mosque building plans, and I'm happy to share some updates with all of you this evening. First, MUIS will proceed with a new mosque in Tampines North. You would be familiar with this because this mosque was announced earlier. Unfortunately, we had COVID, huge disruption to all the building plans, and so the building of this mosque had to be held back. But now we are able to resume our plans, and the team will get it prepared and ready and hope to get construction started in 2027. In fact, the new mosque will be located not far from here at Tampines North Drive 5. And I'm sure it will help to meet the rising demand for prayer spaces in this area. Second, MUIS will build a new mosque in Tengah. Tengah, as you know, is on the other side of Singapore, on the west, but it's a new town and it's growing very quickly. The population is growing rapidly and more young families are moving in, including Muslim families. So there is clearly a need for a new mosque there too. For this one, MUIS is working with the relevant agencies to identify a suitable site for the mosque, and it will release more details in due course. I am confident the 2 new mosques will better support the needs of our Muslim community as you press ahead with your efforts to grow as a community of success. And they will also help you along your ambitions and plans to have a cohesive, connected, and impactful mosque sector. As we said, as you heard just now, we have come such a long way, and the additions of these 2 new mosques, I'm sure, will add to your plans, will enable you to better achieve your objectives. To conclude, I hope we will all continue our efforts to support one another in the community. And importantly, even as we practice our faiths, we also do our part to strengthen our multiracial and multi-religious harmony as one cohesive and united people. This is the spirit that has enabled us to come this far this year as we mark SG60. This is how we will build a better future together for the next 60 years and beyond. And this is how we can ensure this Singapore miracle, this made in Singapore miracle, continues to endure for many more generations to come. So on that note, I wish all our Muslim friends selamat berpuasa and a blessed and meaningful Ramadan. Semoga Ramadan ini membawa sinar bahagia kepada anda sekeluarga. Terima kasih.